Let's connect our Google Business Profile data to Google BigQuery. One of the reasons why you will do it is you have a franchise with multiple locations and the amount of data is so big that your reports are slow. We will solve that by connecting Business Profile to Google BigQuery and then to Google Looker Studio. So I will go to portermetrics.com and I will log in with my Google account. Once on Porter, I will go to create, and on create, I will go to BigQuery as destination. Now I will select my data sources. Optionally, you could combine Google Business Profile data with other data, but I will choose only Business Profile this time. And to organize my data, I will call it franchise. This connection will be called franchise. I will go now to next. And on next, I will connect my business profile location. So I will go to connect accounts. I will be asked to log in with my Google account, and Porter Metrics, once I grant permissions, it will retrieve all the locations my Google account has access to. So I will select several locations. You can select as many locations as you want. We will manage the data volume. And here on save, I will continue. Once I have connected my data sources and I have connected my locations, it is time to create a query. Inside a connection of business profile, we can connect multiple queries. For instance, one for profile performance, another one for reviews, another one for posts, and so on. This is a way to organize your data inside your connection. So in our first query, I don't need to change the data source is business profile. Now I will connect my Google BigQuery account. First, you will log in to Google on your Google Cloud Console account, and we will retrieve all the projects associated with that Google account. In this case, I will connect my profile, my email, and I will select the project ID I want to select it from. If you are not that familiar with Google BigQuery, I will give you a reminder. Inside Google Cloud Console, we have Google BigQuery. In Google Cloud Console, we have organizations. Inside of organizations, we have projects. Inside projects, on BigQuery, we have datasets. Inside datasets, we have tables. And inside tables, we can create queries. So we have set up our project. It is time to select our dataset, but first we need to set the location of this data. So by default, I generally use multi-region. I am always agnostic with this, but this is depending on the policies and compliance of your company. And here, as dataset, I have a dataset that is called marketing data, and the table name, I will go to Google BigQuery and I will create a new table. So on my Google BigQuery account, remember, I am in the project marketing data. In datasets, I will go to marketing data, the one I already have created in the past. And here I will create a new table. And this table will be called GBP, or Google Business Profile. I will create this table, and the same name, I will put it here in this query builder. Here, I am done with my BigQuery setup, and I will continue with the rest of the query. I will select my metrics. I can choose any metrics from Business Profile. I can choose impressions, desktop impressions, mobile impressions, maps impressions, clicks, phone calls, website visits, reviews in lifetime of your account, and so on. You can bring all the metrics here in the same query. So in this case, I will choose impressions, and I want to choose as well, okay, total impressions, and I want to choose, for instance, direction request. I want these conversions, and maybe I want also phone calls. So I have some conversion data and my impressions. Let's say also I want to bring my website visits or my website clicks, and I think I am done with my metrics. Now, let's say I also want to calculate my own metrics. So there is an option that is called create metric. And I want to calculate a metric that is called total conversions. Just for the sake of it, I just want to show you that you can create your custom metrics and your custom dimensions on Power Metrics with no code, so you can have your data full already on Google BigQuery. So this metric will be called total conversions, and in natural language, I will say, hey, please add my website clicks plus my phone calls plus my direction request in the same formula. Now, Porter understands the prompt. It shows you what formula it is calculating, and it will show you a preview of the output of this formula. So I have a formula that is called total conversions. Here I will go to create, I will close the metrics tab, and I will go to dimensions, and I can do the exact same thing. Refresher, metrics are numbers like currencies, percentages, values. Dimensions are the way I can segment or break down my data. I can break down my data by location, by date, by name, by type, by post, by however you want with business profile. So first I will do by date, and also I will do it by location. And I can do the same. I can create my custom dimensions. Let's say that in your franchise, you manage your locations by regions or by brands. I can do something about that. So I will call this dimension location type, and I will create a formula in natural language. I will say, hey, if my location name contains the word students or contains the word fresh, now I know what type of location I am talking about. If it contains this criteria, tag it as this. If it doesn't, as none. I will show this prompt. This will show me a regular expression that this creates and understands. I think it does it correctly. So if the location name contains the word fresh, tag it as fresh. If not, tag it as other. And I will see a preview. And this is doing accordingly. I see that one location name that I have that contains the word fresh or student is tagged as fresh. This is working perfectly. Now I can segment my data to better management for franchises. Here I will go to create, I will close this dimension stuff, and I will go to date range. On date range, I can choose any custom date range or dynamic date range. What is the difference? Custom is, for instance, February 1st to February 28th. Dynamic is better because it is more automatic. For instance, so this data will refresh always this month to date, regardless of what month we are in. Once I have defined my date range, now I can filter my data. I can say, hey, I want to exclude or include some locations in particular. For this example, I will say I will exclude the location names that contain the word gateway, just as an example, and I am done with my filter. For sorting, I want to organize my data by date descending, so I will see first the most recent data. And in the schedule, I can type anything as well in natural language. For instance, I can refresh every 12 hours or every day at 8 a.m. or on weekdays. So here I will do every day at 5 p.m. I want to refresh this data. The AI understood exactly my intent, as you can see, at 5 p.m. every day in my time zone based on my browser. And this is how I can schedule this task. And finally, in the settings, let me define how I want to export this data on Google BigQuery, and I will show you the caveats. Personally, I always use overwrite. Overwriting means I will remove the old table, and every day at 5 p.m., I will refresh it with the new data. Why I prefer it like that? Because I will use append only if I cannot access historical data. Appending is I have some data in Google BigQuery, and this will add a new row in every refresh. It is more susceptible, for instance, for duplicate data, but it is better for conserving my historical data. Why I don't use them? Because it is not an issue for business profile. Generally, in business profile, we can retrieve our historical data for up to 18 months according to their API. So the sooner you start collecting your data on Power Metrics, the sooner or the better historical data you will have access to. In the case of business profile, maybe you could use append, or maybe you could use update. So you will use update if you have a lot of data and you don't want to refresh often and often because you want to save resources. So update, what we will do is that we will look for the locations or the values in your columns. Once we find a match, we will preserve those matches and we will try to refresh the values or the metrics. In general, I will suggest you anyways most of the times override if you want to make sure that you are saving your historical data. Maybe appending is a better solution. So here, I will go to override, I will save this query, and once I will save this query, I will call this particular query instance, instead of franchises, which is our overall connection, I will call it, for instance, locations overview. In this locations overview, I am done. I will save again this query, and I will play. I will send this data to Google BigQuery. So once I have sent this data to Google BigQuery and this execution was successful, I will go to Google BigQuery to a new table we have just created. And you can see the exact same fields we have created in our query builder. I see the location type, the total conversions, those are custom fields, but I will go to preview. In the preview, we can see our Google Business Profile data on Google BigQuery. We are mostly done. There is one more step. In the query builder, you will see an option to view on Looker Studio. We can connect this table from BigQuery on Looker Studio for your reporting. So on View on Looker Studio, we will accept this review data access. I will go to acknowledge and accept. I will go to save, and I have a table with Google Business Profile data. What is the good thing about this table is that the data loads instantly. unlike direct connectors that might break or they take way more to load your data. So just to show an example for this data, I will pull the same field that I have on my Google BigQuery table, but the issue with these ones is, okay, I will remove these record counts, I don't need them, but I see that the fields names are technical. They have an underscore. I can fix that as well. I will go to edit this dimension and I will change the display name to location type so it is cleaner. And for metrics, I will do the same. The display name will be conversions and the display name here will be impressions. And here I will also add the locations and the location name. And this is how you can connect your Google Business Profile data to Google BigQuery and connect this Google BigQuery data to Looker Studio to automate your Google Business Profile reporting for franchises and data volume. I will see you in other tutorials. I am very excited to show you Google BigQuery for marketers.